Hepfner.
Thank you, Chair. I also wanted to point out the hypocrisy in the statements we heard from Mr. Richards a moment ago. I mean, first of all, he's always trying to take the floor away from everybody else who has it. If he's speaking, he wants to make sure everyone is paying close attention to what he's saying. But otherwise, he wants to make sure that his voice is always heard. And so, Chair, do I have the floor?
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you. And so what we heard from Mr. Richards, who's still having a conversation on the other side, is that it's the Prime Minister's fault that we had a delay in this Afghan monument. But in fact, as we've already heard today, it was the Conservatives that initially chose the wrong spot for this monument. The veterans were enraged with the location that Conservatives decided to put this monument 10 years ago. You couldn't walk there in the winter. It was flooded in the spring. And now he wants to take us back to the beginning of the process and start it all over again. Mr. Richards is really enjoying this, laughing and talking to his friends while we're trying to have a conversation, but really, it shows. I mean, there's no delay to the monument while we have these conversations. Just because there's a delay at the committee to get documents that you want to unearth doesn't mean there's a delay in actually building the monument for veterans, which is what veterans really want. I mean, is the Prime Minister, we've heard the Conservatives say the Prime Minister was responsible for starting the fires in BC. He's responsible for global inflation. He's responsible for the delay in this monument. It's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. It's not creating the delay in building this monument. The delay was caused when the Conservatives didn't consult with veterans before they decided where they were going to build this monument. The monument is getting built. Veterans should be assured of that. And I'm a recent addition to this committee, and I have to say I was blown away by the Women Veterans Study. I want to thank MP Blaney for bringing that forward. I learned so much from that study. I think the public will want to read that study to understand what's in that. This committee can accomplish really good work. But right now, it's just partisan games. We're not doing anything to build the monument by completing this study. The monument's getting built. It's just a witch hunt. This is supposed to be a planning meeting. It's supposed to be in camera so we can set out what our next study is going to be. I believe Ms. Blaney has another great idea for a study that we can follow. The experience of veterans, I can't remember exactly what it was. Why don't we get onto that? Get onto that page. Why are we rehashing old stuff that's not having any effect on veterans today? We should be trying to make a difference for veterans today. We should be trying to improve their lives. We should be making sure that they get health care, for example, when they leave the service. So anyway, this is just partisan games, and I hope people who are watching understand that. It's not causing any delay in this monument. We believe this monument should be built quickly and properly, and that's going to happen regardless of what happens at this committee. Thank you, Chair.